As many of you know, I'm Barb Cunningham. I worked at the Buffalo VA Hospital as a cancer registrar for many years, and I've retired from there and now work with a contracting service, Grace Registry Service, and having a lot of fun. And Donna Connery is from Connecticut VA Hospital, and she and I are going to be doing the first presentation today called Can We Jump the Hurdles? Well, I'm glad you all could make it and could make it to this session. And we're going to start out today with Donna Connery and myself with a few slides talking about can you jump the hurdles and what those hurdles are. So, Chris, you're quick, Chris. Last year, Donna and I sent out some emails to a number of VA registrars asking what you need help with. Where are the problems? Well, we got back all kinds of problems, from communicating with physicians to getting financial backing for things needed in cancer programs, to help with working with Oncotrax. And we looked over at the big picture, and as much as we'd like to fix everything, we can't. But so today we're going to try to do a little work on helping you to strengthen your cancer program at your facilities. And everybody looks at their cancer program and they see different things. Just as the picture illustrates, somebody mentions, can you jump the hurdle? I think of a horse jumping. Donna thinks of people jumping. So there's more than one way to skin the cat, as the saying goes, but there are proper ways of doing it. Kind of bear with us. We're going to be shooting back and forth with things.
Okay. Aren't ours the same?
Yes.
Okay, one thing is now I need glasses, guys. Okay, getting older, you start to need glasses. So basically, we decided that we were going to really concentrate on communication. And since communication seemed to be one of the biggest concerns, we found that communication is different among every level in your facilities. Administration looks at the whole pictures. We as cancer registrars look at our cancer program. If you're a COC facility, you're reviewing the standards. So what we need to realize is A, who we're talking to, what we need to discuss with them, and how to discuss it with them. I found that when you approach someone advising them of what the requirements are, within the standards, and getting their ideas on how to meet them is much better than telling them what they need to do. You're next.
And there are different things and different ideas we all bring. We each have our own skills. Among those are communication, verbal or in writing. You need to be able to communicate well with everyone in your program. You need to look at the big picture of your organization, but take small pieces of it and work on improving small areas first, or a little at a time, and delegating to the people who you need to work with. Know who those people are and what their skills are. Don't be afraid to approach those you need help with. Tell them you need help. Don't demand, but ask. What do you think we should do? I have this problem. How can we solve it? What would you suggest? You're going to get a lot more from all the people you talk to when you ask politely. There used to be an old phrase that our parents told us, you catch more flies with honey, get more people working with honey. Oops, wrong way. And the credit, if you're on an accredited program, you're slightly a little different than the non-accredited programs. You have to know the ACOS standards and help the people on the committee know them. And know the members of your cancer committee and their strong points. Help them be aware of the requirements that they are responsible for. The registrar no longer has to do everything, but you need to guide the members of your cancer committee as to what they need to help with. Oops, I think I did that. Well, I'll get this right eventually. And if you're a non-accredited program, the goal is to improve how cancer patients are dealt with at your facility. You're going to assist in forming an informal or a formal cancer committee at some facilities, which will serve to benefit all of the cancer patients. And you will also set some goals, even in the non-approved program, for which your whole program is going to be working to improve cancer patients. If I did it wrong again, I'll get it. Oops.
Oops, too far, back up. Yeah, there you are.
Isn't it your turn yet, Donna? Chris, what happened? Forward. Went too far. Okay, and the big thing is keep it simple. KISS. Obviously, I'm not doing too good a job of that up here. I've complicated it.
Uh-oh, we lost it over there. All right. So when you're kissing, you have to make sure that you keep it simple. Make sure that you're explicit on what you're asking. Make sure that people understand what you're asking of them. Have them repeat to you what you're asking them to do, and if someone asks you for something, repeat it to them. So within your committee, you're going to have to share ideas and abilities. The biggest asset that we have in our facilities is that we have a number of specialists that we work with. And I'll tell you a story, and I'm glad that Jessica's here, because when I first started working at VA Connecticut, everyone was in their own silo. We were in the cancer center for our office space, which was right next door to health psychology. And at that point, Laura Honeybell was working with me, and we kind of bounced a lot of ideas off each other as to what we felt our cancer patients should need. And we felt that our cancer patients needed multidisciplinary care. A lot of them came in, and they basically had all these issues that the providers did not have really the time to go over with them. So we went over to Jessica and said, Jessica, what do you think about getting health psychology interested in cancer? And she was like, are you kidding me? We've been waiting to be asked. Their program had just gone through their accreditation, and they had gotten the highest scores that they could get in accreditation at that point in time. Nobody in the facility knew it. How could that be? It's like we have a great health psychology group, they're interested in doing cancer, and nobody's communicating to get the two departments together, the two services together. And that was kind of the beginning of our relationship. And we grew from there. But as I said, I was lucky enough to work with someone who had the same vision I did. And we bounced things off, and I don't know if anyone saw Dr. Rose come in here before, but she actually is our champion. She is wonderful. We can bring any idea to her as long as we have a plan, and she lets us implement it. So we really can't ask for more than that. But along the way, we decided that we were going to build a cancer center with multidisciplinary care. It took us 8 years to get ourselves up and running, and we still have some little things that we need fixed. But basically, the bottom line is everyone wants the best possible treatment for the veterans, and you need to get buy-in from other disciplines. And the only way you can draw them in is to be excited about it yourself. And then it's amazing what you can get accomplished. I got the next one too. Left, okay. Oh, I can say this one, huh? Okay. As the cancer registrars, we actually access records on a daily basis. When we see a problem, we need to identify it and we need to work at it. And we also need to come up with solutions for it. I work with another registrar, her name is Tammy Smith, and recently we've noticed, as we're abstracting records, that there are some things that we're not quite sure of, or maybe a patient had slipped through the system. So we've started calling, and basically you always start with, you know, we've been abstracting some of the records and we've noticed this, this, and this. Can you check it and see whether or not we're seeing it right, whether we're missing something? And 9 out of 10 times we get thanked for it. basically, you can't give up. Nothing changes overnight, especially in the VA system, trust me. But we've learned at our facility to live with a few things called passion, patience, perseverance, persistence, and if all else fails, become a pain in the ass. It works.
Well, cancer programs come in all sizes and in all hospitals, the big hospitals and the small hospitals, but they all need the same thing, work and working together. Everybody thinks one VA is like another. Well, if you've been in the VA very long, you sure know that's not true. From what department cancer registries are under to the grades of cancer registrars. So everybody has to work within their system. And you have to, Donna, no. We don't do
Jumping.
this real good. We're jumping around.
I know. Okay, so basically, this is really where the change for us as cancer registrars has taken place. The ACOS standards call for program management, clinical service, continuum of care, patient outcomes, and data quality. So you as a cancer registrar have become a teacher, a monitor, a mentor, a planner, and a reporter. We are no longer the ones sitting in the corner abstracting cases. Those days are over. Do you like this jumping bit back and forth? Because we're very confused.
Yeah. Did you guess? Okay. So don't bite off more than you can chew. It's a big pie. Take little pieces. Work to solve one or two little problems at a time.
Oh, no, too far.
Did I go too far?
You're too far. Go to the right. Go to the right. It's still too far. Too far. Oh, you went to the left. I said go to the right.
Wait a minute, something's missing here.
No, we got to go to the importance of communication.
Yeah, we need to find the importance of communication. Okay, there's our pie.
Here's your importance.
There we go. Okay, this is really, see what happens when you can't communicate? You really get screwed up. Or when you don't listen to the directions. Go to the right, I went to the left. Really screwed us up. But anyhow, communication is what it is all about. So many times we think we have communicated and nobody understood what we said. Also, sometimes you need to listen or your speech will make you deaf. So keep that in mind too. Your verbal communication is very important. How you say something. Susie, will you help me? Susie, will you help me? Two different interpretations. One, I'm really mad that Susie wasn't helping. So think of how you're going to come across to the people you are talking to and asking help of. Your nonverbal communication also is very important. Do you make eye contact with the people you are speaking to? Do you look down at your feet when you're talking to them instead? You're afraid to face them. Do you talk so soft that they can't hear you? Or are you screeching at them? You want to be as direct in saying what you are asking for as possible. And also, frequently you might ask them if they understand and to repeat what you have said so that you are both on the same page. Many times, sending an email is not a good idea when it might be easier to pick up the phone and actually talk to someone. Some people, email works wonderful for, but remember, you lose a lot in email. So don't let that be the only thing or only way in which you are communicating to people. And just be sure that everyone understands what is being said. And by that, when you ask for someone to repeat what you said, you will know.
Okay, indirect communication. Sometimes you want to make sure that something gets to someone, but you're unavailable to meet with that person, but you know someone who will meet with that person. So you make sure that you have a message that you know will get passed on to the person that you want to hear it. Speaking, again, as Barbara said, when you're talking, make sure you're clear, you're concise. Listening, hearing what the person's saying, not putting your perception in on it. It's really to understand what they're trying to say to you. And understanding, a clear insight of what's being said. So with that, we're going to play a few games to see how well we all communicate. The first one is, does everybody have a piece of paper in front of them? I put some paper on the tables. And actually, I call them games, but they're really drills. If anybody has extra paper, you need paper. Does anybody have extra paper around?
Did we pass out all that?
Yeah, I passed out them all. Any tables have extra paper?
Can we have the back of mine?
Huh? You have extra paper? Okay. Oh, we ended up with a lot of people who were registrars, too. Okay. Okay, does everybody have paper? Everybody have a pen? Pencil? Pen? Okay, are you ready? Wait a minute, who needs pens? Got an extra pen? There's a pen over there, you can give her mine. Got to give it back, though, it's the only one I brought. Okay, this is an exercise, and we're going to see how everybody does. All right, we're going to draw a bug. The bug is round. Okay, you ready? The bug has 8 legs, grouped in pairs with 4 legs on the left and 4 legs on the right. In the pairs, one leg is longer than the other. Okay, everybody ready? Okay. The bug has 2 eyes on top of the body. The body. The bug's body. The bug has 2 squiggly antennae. Squiggly antennae. You know, antennae, antlers. No. Thanks. The bug has 2 pea-pod-shaped wings. Shaped wings. You want me to demonstrate that too? I mean, that was bad enough. Okay. The bug has a spot next to each wing. A spot. Spot. Yep. The bug has a triangular stinger on the top of the body. Stinger on the top of his body. Okay. The bug has 2 feelers on each foot, one longer than the other, both coming from the same side of the leg. The bug has 2 feelers on each foot, one longer than the other, both coming from the same side of the leg. Okay. The bug has a round mouth placed between the 2 eyes. Okay, one last thing, only one more thing. Okay. The bug has 5 square eggs to the left of the stinger. The bug has 5 square eggs to the left of the stinger. His left or my left? Okay, is everybody done? Okay, how many people's bugs look like this? Because these are the directions I gave you to do. So, do your bugs look like this, or are your bugs different? Everybody's perception is different, so we really have to remember that when we're talking to our cancer committee and letting them know what we're looking for in standards. Okay, we've got more games, though. Okay. Can I have this table and this table stand up and form a line? You can find over there, and you guys can form a line over here. I promise I'll only pick on each table one time. Yeah, and same thing over here. You're in that line over there. We're doing telephone. Telephone. Yep, you can start. Start with that line, yeah. But don't let the next person hear what you're saying. Okay, do you remember when you were a kid, we used to play a game called telephone? You would say something to someone and it would be passed to the next person, on and on and on. Well, we're going to watch now how whatever's told to the first person ends up with the last person, and whether or not communication is true, or whether we miss something when we're telling it from person to person. Close your ears. All right, maybe 3 of you is from each table. Yeah, even 2 sentences, Barb. 2 sentences. 2 sentences. Top 2 sentences. Talk softer, I can hear you up here. Talk softer. You can't read it. You told her. Now she's got to tell it to her. Nope. That's it. One time. No. No. And you like to see it at the end of the line. When it gets to the last person, we'd like you to come up and tell us what you heard. So whoever the last person in your line is, when you're all done telling this story, But you know what, really, it's not too long, because when you're giving direction to your cancer committee, or you're telling somebody something you need, do you tell them a sentence, or do you tell them like a story? I tell stories. You tell them.
Did you hear, are you last and you got it?
Okay.
Come on up and tell us what you heard, and then Margaret's going to tell us what her group heard.
Okay, go ahead.
John Doe told Jane Smith to go to Campton and buy an elephant.
That was good.
Elephant.
And Margaret, what did you hear?
John took Jane to the zoo and bought some things and bought some stuff. Saw some things and saw some stuff. Saw some things and...
Okay, what did it really say? Okay, how the first person in your line heard this was, John Smith is planning to visit Jane Doe in Cincinnati. He could drive through Mansfield, Columbus, and Wilmington before arriving in Cincinnati. John and Jane were planning on visiting the new elephant exhibit at the zoo.
So really, what did that make you realize? Okay, you want to hand this out? There's a lot of tables, so just pick one person, other than those two tables, because I told them they don't have to do it anymore.
Okay, so we're just going to give it to
One person, okay, at every other table, than these two. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is Barbara's going to give out a piece of paper to one person at the table. Now, right, those two tables are exempt. Okay. The person who gets the piece of paper is the only one who can look at the word that's on that piece of paper. As soon as Barbara hands them out to everyone, you have to get the people at your table to tell you what's on that piece of paper without using any language and without using your hands. You can use words, but you can't say the word that's on that paper. But you can't use your hands. What do you think, Jess? Jessica, what do you think? Is this working? Yep. Oh, good. Okay. Go ahead. What was did you get them to guess?
Yes.
All right. What words did you use to get them to guess?
I use words like, it's too early to go to school, or it's Saturday. Can I stay up late? Stuff
What
like
was your word?
children.
Children.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it was whining.
They thought you were whining? Okay. Okay. Did your group guess? Yes, they did. Okay. What did you use to get them to guess? And how many words did it take?
How many reference blanks do we use on a daily basis?
And you guys use books. Very good. Good job. Okay. Who's the person?
So what do I do?
What do you do? Did you get them to guess?
Yes, they guessed it.
Okay. How many words did you have to get them to use? Did you use to get them to guess?
2.
You're good. What was your word?
Grapes.
Wow. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Did they guess?
They did.
Okay. How many words did you use?
2.
And what was your word?
The sun.
Uh-huh.
And then
set.
yeah.
Very good. 12 words? And what was your word?
Box.
Box. And what were the words that you used?
Something shoes come in, something candy comes in, and she
Very
got
good.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on my 4th word, and we still don't have it.
You're on your 4th word. Try again.
It's pretty, and it grows flowers.
There you go. You're not with anybody? Why don't you come over here so you can be with somebody? Okay, who was here?
Me.
You want me on that side or this side?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Our word was summer, and I just said, it's a season, and they guessed.
This is too easy. Okay, who was the person? What was your word?
The word was ice cream,
Uh-huh. How many
and
words did it take?
2.
2?
I said it's cold and you eat it.
Very good. Good communication. Hey, guys. I'm sorry.
It's me.
Hi, Maria.
Hi, Donna.
My word was apple,
Whoa. Okay.
and it took 2.
2? What'd you use?
Tree and fruit.
Very good. Okay. So I guess that means that we all can communicate because it didn't take you guys a long time to guess the words. So that's a good thing. You should have done that. Okay. Where's my next one? Okay. What is this one? Okay. As Barbara said, you know, her and I came here today basically to talk about communication and let me see. You know what I did with that? Gee. Okay, so what'd you learn about what I just did? I wasn't communicating. If you use the right word, you don't have to use a lot of words. Exactly. Exactly. Sometimes just being there, listening to what other people say, or starting to say something and let other people finish it, it's the best way of communicating. You don't have to do all the talking, which is very hard for me, okay? I admit it. All right, let's see, what's this one? Oh, the ball. Okay, we have a beach ball here. And I'm going to throw it to a person, and I want you to describe something to me. I'm going to give you a word. The word is conflict. When I throw you this beach ball, you tell me the first word that comes into your mouth. And then just start hitting it around the room so it goes wherever. Okay? I mean,
You want
anybody who gets it.
You want each person to tell you a word when they catch it.
Yes. No, it has to relate to the word conflict. What you think of with the word conflict comes into being. Yeah, conflict. You know, like you're conflicting with someone, you're not getting along with them, lack of communication, or it's bad communication. What do you think of when you get this beach ball? Ready? Barriers. Say a word.
Say a word.
One more.
Coworker. Combat.
Okay, now I have a question for you. As we're throwing this ball around and we're talking about conflict, how many positive words came out of conflict?
Couple.
Two. So when we get into a conflict or we are faced against something that we really don't know how to handle, are we positive about it or are we negative about it? I mean, you yourselves, you don't have to say anything, just something for you to think about, how you approach things. And could there be a better way of approaching things? If we really step back, I mean, sometimes we need to step back and just think about, okay, this is the situation. This is the way I would normally approach it. Or even sometimes I have a habit of like typing out a whole email, but not sending it until the next day so I could reread it to make sure that I really wasn't stepping above where I should be, because sometimes I do that and I get in trouble. So it's kind of like you really got to step back and look at the whole picture and say, gee, you know, I presented this to my cancer committee and they didn't want to do it. And how am I going to get them to do it? You know, I mean, it's just something to think about. Okay. We only have 2 more. I swear, just 2 more. Okay. Let's see. That one we did. Okay. All right. Does everybody still have their piece of paper? Even though you drew a bug on it, can you use the same piece of paper? Okay, we're going to do one more thing. You ready? Okay. I want you to hold the piece of paper in both of your hands. Okay, now I want you to fold that piece of paper in half. I just want you to fold the piece of paper in half. Okay, don't ask questions. Okay, I want you to tear off the lower left-hand corner of that piece of paper. Now I want you to fold it in half again. And I want you to tear off the upper right-hand corner of that piece of paper. Now I want you to fold it in half again. Now I want you to tear off the lower right-hand corner of that piece of paper. Okay, everybody done? Okay, now you can open it up and see how many of yours look the same. Because they all should look the same. How come they don't look the same?
There are a number that look the same, but there's some that don't.
Yeah. I mean, if you really look at it, the people at your table, there's a number that do look the same. But then there are a few that look differently. Again, it's communication. Okay. And listening. Okay. This is the very last one that we're going to do. And Barbara's going to do this one. You got to get it up, and I'll read the directions. Okay. As Barbara gets it on the internet here.
Left or the right?
I don't know. You're the one who's got to get it.
Where's the gorilla?
going.
We need to get to the gorilla. Oops, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Somebody's done this before? Okay, wait a minute. Don't turn it on yet. Give me 1 minute. Because I'm going to ask you to do something. This is where I can't see. Huh? Yeah. Okay, you see that there's people here passing a ball? I want you to count and tell me how many times that ball is passed from person to person. Okay? Go ahead. Start it.
This is a test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball.
Oh, wearing white. I'm sorry, guys.
How many passes did you count? The correct answer is 15 passes. But did you see the gorilla?
Did you guys see the gorilla?
Raise your hand if you saw the gorilla.
And you got the 15 passes too? Okay, ask them how many saw the gorilla and got the 15 passes.
Raise your hand
This
if
video
you
is
saw the
from Search for
gorilla
Daniel Simon
and
Christopher
counted
Schneider,
15
copyright.
passes.
Wow,
It is
you guys
available
are
for
good.
use in talks, training, and teaching on
Good.
DVDs from VizCog Productions.
Okay,
Are we done?
we're done.
And that's the end of this session for now.